Hey, welcome to this video and to our channel if you haven't been here before. What we wanted to do today was come and share our story of adoption, something that was really important to us and that was a pretty amazing experience, and yeah, share that for other people to hear and see, and just kind of bring you along the journey of what's happened so far and what's about to come.
So I think the first thing we'll do is introduce ourselves. So my name is Jill, and this is obviously Jessie. And we are high school sweethearts. We met when we were in high school, and we got married when we were quite young. We were 20 and 19 when we got married, and we have 3 beautiful children. 2 of those children are biological children, and the last one was adopted. And so we get lots of questions about our family, and most importantly why we adopted, and kind of everything to do with our 3rd child, who is now 1 year old. So I think we're going to go through some questions that we get quite frequently and
give you some answers.
So I have my phone here, and we wrote down some questions that we'll be answering. The biggest question is, why did you guys adopt, and are you guys infertile? And the question, I guess you can answer that one.
Sure, yeah. No, we have not struggled with infertility.
Obviously, we have 2 children,
yeah,
biological.
We do have 2 biological children before. So why did we adopt? What led us to adoption? We have always kind of thought about adoption being a possibility. We've always been open to it. We've always thought it's been really cool. So Jill has one of her family members that's adopted, and we both, knew people that were adopted growing up, and
it was just something that we had always thought about, that we would definitely be open to the idea of adoption.
Yeah, it wasn't weird to us.
No,
it wasn't something that we were like, oh, we've never thought about that, or we just
we always knew we could. And I think the biggest thing for me was working at the children's hospital, because I was a nurse, and I remember just falling in love with so many of the babies, and just feeling like some of them didn't have families around often, or were in the foster care system, and I just remember thinking, like, I would adopt you, like, no problem. Like, I felt love immediately, and I thought, like, this could be something we could do. And I came home and was talking to Jessie about it. So after we had our first 2 children, we kind of, some events happened, and it kind of led us down the road that we decided to choose adoption. Next question. How long did you guys wait, or how long the process was? Adoption for us
went quite quickly.
But from the time we started the paperwork till the time we were placed, it was like 10 months.
Wasn't it over a year?
No, because we started in June.
Yeah.
We applied for our, we put our applications in, and we started the process, and then in April, well, I guess May 1st was when we were placed with our son. So it was about 10 months of the whole process, but we had been in, like, the mindset of, like, we were heading down that road, saving up and doing all those things for, like, almost a year and a half. So we had already knew we were going in that direction for probably 6 months before we put in our application.
And
so it felt like we waited longer just because of that, but
we realized that on the spectrum of the adoption cycle for people, we were definitely on the shorter end.
Oh yeah, I think our agency said we were one of the quickest they've ever placed, which was a shock for us, because we were waiting. We were expecting to be in a long wait. We didn't expect to be placed right away. We had some circumstances that allowed for us to adopt quickly, and that is kind of why we were able to be placed. Like, if we go into it a little bit, it's because we were on a different waiting list than the average couples or families. We were on a waiting list for special circumstances. So we were on a separate list, and so our baby that we adopted, our son, would have been going into foster care, but we were able to jump in,
he was placed.
And he was placed with us. And so just to kind of, like, give that's the biggest reason why we got placed quickly. And also, we just feel like he was supposed to be our son, and everything worked out, and Yeah.
Something
We know so many people that have waited for so long, and our hearts go out to them, and we feel so sad. And I know there's a lot of people in the adoption community that can get frustrated that we got placed so quickly. But I keep just saying, like, it was just the story that that God had planned for us. So.
And sometimes there's a lot harder story that is planned for people. So we recognize there's a lot of heartache and a lot of heartbreak involved. But
even with our own story, there's always, every adoption, comes from loss and goes into like beauty, but it comes from a place of loss.
Something else that would kind of be interesting is a lot of that I was just thinking about, something we didn't write down was if we followed a birth mom through the process. And
what do you mean follow a birth mom?
Like if we got picked before the baby was born.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
our adoption story is an instant placement, which means that we were placed within a few hours. Like, he was already born, our son was already born at the hospital, and the birth mom chose us, and then we went and picked him up within a few hours, a few hours.
Like 14 hours.
From the time we found out to the time we picked him up. So our story was an instant placement, meaning we never met the birth mom ahead of time and got to know her, and she didn't pick us ahead of time. Like, we got placed instantly, and so that was also kind of gives you an idea like why we got placed so quickly, because it was an instant placement, and we had no idea. Like, he was 5 days old before we went and grabbed him. So yeah. So the next question, let's move on. What's your relationship with birth mom? You want to go?
Sure. So we have yet to meet the birth mom in person. We have exchanged emails and some messages with her and sent some pictures. And yeah, it's a rough go for any birth mom, and so we totally understand, and we feel our hearts feel for it, and we're wanting more of a relationship, and we're open to more of a relationship, but understand that will take time, and it will be what it will be. And we're right now we have, so with the birth mom, we'll have on and off messages, emails back and forth with pictures. We've been in contact with the biological grandparents a little bit as well, but yeah, that's where it is right now, and we are looking to.
We're just open.
We're open to whatever it becomes in the future. Obviously, we'd love for Emmett to meet his birth mom and birth family, but that might come much in the future, and we're waiting and okay with that.
Yeah. Next question. You did a good job. Will you guys adopt more kids? Yes, maybe. We don't know. We haven't we're kind of just taking it one kid at a time. I know that I want to be pregnant one more time, but I also know that I would love to adopt one more child. So
we will see.
We'll see. Yeah. I think that it would be fun to have one more kid biological and then one more kid adopted. That would make us have 5 kids. But we always knew when we were dating that we wanted a big family. So if we end up with 5, then I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. But that's kind of the answer. So I hope we can adopt one more time, but we will see.
Yeah.
Also, another question we get often is, how do your biological kids get along with your adopted son?
Well, they went into a full-on dance party when we brought him home, so I think they liked him.
Yeah. We did a lot of, we had been praying for him and talking about him. Not that we knew it was a boy, but we had been just having that a part of our normal conversation for a very long time before he was placed. And even though it was an instant placement, I thought maybe our kids would have been I don't know, whoa, why is this baby in our house? But they were so extremely excited, and this had been the child, the baby that we had been praying for and talking about, and they knew that this baby we were going to be adding to our family wasn't going to be in mommy's tummy. So that conversation, they were, how old were they? 4, almost 4 and 2.5 when we actually had him come home with us. So I feel just even even though they seem young, just treating them like they know more. And I think we just went on and did that, and it worked out really well for us. And I don't even think they have any, like, I think they treat them just like any other sibling, and it's like not even a big deal to them. I don't even think it, and it's not a big deal. And I think that's what we want. It's like, we don't even mention it when we meet people. We don't, it's not a part of a regular conversation when we meet strangers. It's known in our family that he's adopted, and we want him to know it's adopted, and we talk about it, that he's from has a tummy mommy, but it's not something that we like want to like bring evidence, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like it's part of his identity, but it isn't his identity, if that makes sense.
You just took the words right out of my mouth.
There we go.
Yeah, so I think that's it, unless you can think of another question that we normally always get. A lot of people say that he looks like us, which is like a huge blessing for him and for us, that he can just like blend right into our family. Yeah,
he does. And it was funny, the adoption agency said it's funny how many times that happens where a child is brought into a family that looks like them. And he had surgery after a few months of being born.
Only like a month.
It was only a month? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he had surgery after a month. And I remember going in for the post-op checkup, and the doctor was like, "Oh, Daddy, he has your eyes." And I was like, mine are brown and his are blue.
But we didn't know at the time it was going to be blue, but
no,
yeah.
I didn't say anything. I was
There's
like,
so many people that like comment on how much he looks like us out in public, and I think that's special, and I think I just like smile and nod and say, yeah, he does. I don't want everyone, everywhere we go, to be like, no, actually he's adopted, because then that's like something ingrained into him to be like, well, I'm different, I'm adopted. So yeah. Anyways, I hope this like answered any questions, and we're excited to be finally sharing this with you guys. It took us a little while to actually make this video because we wanted to make sure all the legal side of the adoption was complete, which that happened a few months ago. So has our last name and he is officially ours. And then it just took us a little time to actually post, but we will probably put some photos and such at the end of this video, and yeah. And please subscribe if you want to. Yeah, follow our journey. We have his 1-year birthday party coming up. That video is gonna be after this one, and that'll be fun to see us celebrate 1 year of his life. And we'd love for you to stay on the journey with us and ask us any questions that we might have missed in the comment section down below. Awesome. Okay. See ya. Bye.